So here in this video we will showcase another age comparison, and it will be amongst the oldest characters from the Star Wars universe, including a few gigantic creatures as well. Typically, humans here have an average lifespan of around 100 years, and some who are keenly attuned to the Force could even live up to 200. Emperor Palpatine, before his death, was already 117 years, and he doesn't even make here in the top 15 list. Even Chewbacca at 235 years isn't old enough. Oh, and we won't be including the Force Ghost either. So let's get to the oldies, boys. At number 15 we have Yarael Poof. He was a Jedi Master and a member of a species called the Quermians, which were notable for having very long necks. They also had two brains, one in their head and another one within their chests, and two pairs of arms. Yarael Poof was one of these, and had become a revered Jedi Master by the year 232 before the Battle of Yavin, and therefore would no doubt be around 300 years of age at the time of his death. At number 14 we have Dexter Jetser. He is a member of a species called the Basilisk, which are very tall, bulky, and somewhat reptilian in looks, with 4 arms and 2 legs. They come from a planet called Ojum. During the High Republic era, he, Dexter Jetser, had even worked side by side by Maz Kanata, another old entry here in this list, so it was stated that he would have been between 400 to 450 years of age. At 13 we have Yaddle. Master Yaddle, or Mistress Yaddle, was a Force-sensitive female being of the same species as Grand Master Yoda and Din Grogu. She was a Jedi Master and was in charge of Jedi initiates during the High Republic era, dating from 382 before the Battle of Yavin. She is of course stated to have lived for 477 years. Number 12, Jabba. Jabba the Hutt. He was one of the most notorious Hutt crime lords in the galaxy, who had been governing a large criminal empire located in the Outer Rim territories from his desert palace on Tatooine. At the height of his power, Jabba was one of the most powerful crime lords in the entire galaxy, but he was killed by Princess Leia, and at the time of his death he was already 604 years of age. At number 11 we have Yoda. The revered Jedi Master Yoda had claimed to have been training Jedi for over 800 years. The second time Yoda mentions his long life is in The Return of the Jedi, when he tells Luke that he will not look as good if he too reaches 900 years of age. So if we take Yoda at his word, that means that the Jedi Master died at a ripe old age of 900. At number 10 we have Ravus. Ravus was a male Jedi warrior who served as the leader of the Bedlam Raiders, a marauder group based on a planet called Kobok. He was a powerful warrior who had slain many Jedi during the High Republic era. He was born before the High Republic era, which would mean that he is over 1000 years of age. At number 9 we have Maz Kanata. Born over a millennium before the conflict between the First Order and the Resistance in 973 BBY, Maz Kanata was a Force-sensitive female who learned to live and thrive in the criminal underworld of the galaxy. She later became known as the Pirate Queen many centuries even before the First Order came into existence, and yeah, her age is officially 1008 years. Number 8, Mama. Mama was an elder female Hutt of the Hutt clan prior and during the Clone Wars. She was also the grandmother of Jabba and was born sometime before 1021 BBY, and sometime after she became the wife of Papa the Hutt. Therefore, she would no doubt be over 1040 years of age as of the current timeline. Number 7, Ood Bnar. Ood Bnar was a Netai Jedi Master who lived for over 5000 years, from before the Great Hyperspace War in 5000 BBY until 10 ABY, which is after the Battle of Yavin. The Netai species is a shape-shifting plant species from the Inner Rim planet called Mukir. Ood Bnar was one of these, and the same as the other of his race, he lived for quite a few millennia, 5000 years to be more precise. Number 6 we have Huyang. Huyang was a Mark IV architect droid professor based aboard the Jedi vessel called Crucible, who for 1000 generations taught Jedi younglings, including Grand Master Yoda and Jedi Master Mace Windu, how to construct their lightsabers following the Gathering. Huyang was built around 25,020 BBY, and so it is naturally 25,000 years of age. At number 5 we have the Sarlacc. Sarlaccs were semi-sentient subterranean creatures found on many planets across the galaxy. They were unique amongst galactic species, having characteristics of both plant and animal life, and they spent most of their lives underground with only their mouth visible from the surface. They often reach maturity at 30,000 years, and thus that is their minimum age. Number 4. Abeloth. Also known as the Bringer of Chaos and the Destructor, she was an extremely powerful Force entity. Her dark side powers and immortality were derived from being corrupted by drinking from the font of power and bathing in the pool of knowledge of the Ones. She first lived as a servant, a mortal woman who served the powerful Ones on a jungle planet over 100,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, and then she grew to be an out-of-control entity. Number 3. Bendu. Bendu was a male Force-sensitive entity who resided on the remote planet of Athlon and claimed to represent the center of the Force, between the light side and the dark side. His actual age is never stated, but he claims to represent the center of the Force and thus would be extremely old. At number 2 we have the Ones. The Ones, also known as the Mortis Gods, were a very powerful family of Force wielders that resided on the planet called Mortis. They consisted of the son, who aligned with the dark side of the Force, the daughter, who was aligned with the light side of the Force, and the father, who represents the balance, very much like Bendu. These beings are easily over 1 million years old at the least. And number 1. Psy-O. Psy-O was an exogoth, a space slug that lived a solitary life in the Big One asteroid within the hot asteroid belt. This Psy-O was said to be over 1 billion years old, which was surprisingly young for an exogoth. It was the same one that tried to consume the Millennium Falcon. Ha! So that's the oldest creature and the oldest character in Star Wars. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster content. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.